What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and this week's sponsorship is from Newsly. Newsly is a all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and read them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time in ever on the internet, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topic you choose, start playing, start scrolling, and start listening. You can follow any topic as you specifically as you like, from sports, science to Bitcoin, even for the Kardashians. It will find you on the latest article and you read them to you out loud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, MrGentleman Like That podcast, is on there as well. Yes, it is. Shout out to Newsly for that. I started using it as my default podcast app. Download and use Newsly for free from www.newsly.me or from the link in the description. Use the promo code MrGentleman that I will also put in the description and receive 1 month free premium subscription. So you already know, y'all, download Newsly now. Check it out. Support them, y'all. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and enjoy the show. You are now listening to MrGentleman Like That podcast presents Date Night Talk podcast with Ken, aka MrGentleman,
and your girl Vanna B. Tap in.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, 1/4 of the Premier Boy podcast, and your host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another new episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast. Hope all is well. And before we talk about today's episode, I just want to give a shout out to this podcaster by the name of Brian from the Playlist Wars and My Weekly Mixtape, man. He got 2 those amazing shows about music, talk about so much music knowledge. One show is about building your playlist, another show is about building a mixtape. And, you know, shout out to him, man. You always showing love for me and for the show, so I want to show love back. And check out his 2 podcast shows, The Playlist Wars and My Weekly Mixtape, man. Shout out to you, Brian. So this episode for Date Night Talk, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is the season 1 finale of Date Night Talk. And myself and Vanna B, we're going to talk about Valentine's Day. We're going to talk about our favorite love songs. Each of us is going to talk about 2020, each of our favorite love song, and we're just going to talk about it in a playlist fashion. So yeah, this could be a really fun episode, and stay tuned, y'all. So y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Gia.
And I'm Layla, and we're from the podcast She Fucking Did That.
And you are listening to the great MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman of MrGentleman Like That podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Like That podcast, where we bring many guests telling about their stories about their brand they got going on. Also about me telling y'all my personal stories about things that are going on in my life. Also, we have many spin-off shows on MrGentleman, the podcast called The Old School Show with myself and the star writing Rod, where we talk anything old school, which happen every 4th or 5th Sunday at 12 a.m. on the MrGentleman, the podcast network, and another spinoff show called A Conversation About Music Podcast, where we talk to many artists about their music journey. And also we have a roundtable music discussion about anything music, and which should come on every first Sunday at 12 a.m. on MrGentleman, the podcast network. And yeah, you already know, if y'all need a podcast to listen to, check out MrGentleman, the podcast. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Good Pod, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Good Pod, Podchaser, and Apple Podcasts. The more y'all rate, the more love the show get. Y'all can also check it out on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube now. Ken, aka MrGentleman, TV. And also support the website of MrGentleman, the podcast, MrGentleman, podcast.com. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and have a good day, night, wherever you're listening to this episode. Back to the show. Cheers!
Hey, this is your girl, Vanna B, and you're kicking it and listening to my boy on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, welcome to another episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast. And I'm bringing my co-host, Miss Vanna B.
Hey, y'all, let's go trip.
Yes,
we're here.
Yeah, and before we do anything, I just want to say thank you to everybody that been listening to the last Date Night Talk episode. It became a really big hit. One of our biggest episodes from Date Night Talk so far. So, wow, I just want to say thank y'all and continue to support us. It really means a lot. So
Can I chime in and again say thank you again? I'm gonna always say thank you for Mr. Ken, MrGentleman. Thank you for picking me. Well, not picking me, but just allow me to be in this journey. I appreciate it, and of course to everyone that's listening. And just we're figuring it all out, and I'm still figuring myself out. And I just appreciate the fact that you love the conversation and what we say, what we do. And I'm supposed to say next semester because I work in the school. But next, of course, right? But next season, definitely, again, hit me up, DM me. Again, I appreciate it. I love it. Mr. Ken, love you like cook food. You're amazing.
Yeah, and thank you, Miss Vanna, for joining me on this journey. It's really been really fun. I appreciate you, 100%. But actually, mentioned, she said next season, because this is the season 1 finale of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast. And this season we got to know about gave facts about us. We spoke about dating. We spoke about relationships. We spoke about bad in the relationships. But let's get back to this. So this episode, as you already know, this is Love Week, Valentine's Day week, because this episode dropped 2 days after Valentine's Day, but it's through Valentine's Day week. And we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna talk about our favorite date night songs. Our favorite love song, basically. But before we get to that, I got a little question of the day for you. 2 questions of the day. I believe we asked this before, but we're gonna ask it again because it is Love Week. Who are your favorite TV couples? I feel like we did that. I feel like we asked this before, but let's do it again. Let's run it back again.
My favorite. Didn't I text you on the time? Like, what did I? Okay.
We did spoke about this before.
My favorite TV couples.
Name 3. Name three.
Of course, the Winslows. That's one. I'm trying to think now because I asked you these questions and you told me all of this. A next one I could think of. It has to be like into relationship, because you know what, I'm also big on friendship, so I also love the Golden Girls, so that relationship was also I love that for them. And then I feel like it's corny, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be Martin and Gina. Of course, Martin and Gina was definitely, and actually Dwayne Wade and Whitley. honestly, because there was a point where Dwayne had to, well, was that was his name? Yeah, had to put her, yeah, he had to put her in her place in a respectful way. And when he was like, we're not gonna do this, we're not gonna do that. You're gonna come home, we're gonna talk about it. And I was like, yes, like what a king. Like, but yeah, I think those are my favorites. But I also feel like we need to kind of normalize having, female friendships, male friendships. I don't know what that's called or what that looks like. Romance as being normal, which is fine. I feel like those are really important for you guys. Yes.
If I had to pick, of course, Dwayne and Whitley as well. That's one of my favorite couples. I'm gonna say, of course, Martin and Gina. Of course, the typical. Those the Heathcliffs, the Cosbys, Clifford.
I definitely forgot about them. I definitely did.
Yeah, they are also a favorite couple. Also, I'm gonna go to the superhero route. And go to the Flash, Barry and Iris, because I love that couple on that show. Like when I watch the Flash, that couple is like. It's so dope, and it's an interracial couple too on the show. So yeah, I love that couple as well, and yeah, I agree about the friendship too, the friendship aspect as well. Yeah, that there you go. And stuff like that.
I think I pretty much picked my situations based on, like, I guess currently now for me, and I do feel like Whitley and Dwayne definitely sit with me a lot. Martin and Gina definitely, because that's definitely a lot of my life right now. And I thought, who was the other one I picked? I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a second.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, because again, like, I have really amazing, good girlfriends, and God forbid if life happens and I have to go to the old person houses, that's who I want to be with. And I do feel like, even when you have your relationships, and again, you want to ride or die to whatever, and when the person passes, but I do feel like having a great relationship with your girlfriends or guy friends or bromances or whatever the case may be. But again, if I had to do it, I have my girlfriend. Listen, I'm ready. I already have my Sophia ready. I already know who it's going to be. I have all that. It won't be cheesecake though. It might be something else, but yes.
So let me get, and I add this for you. Let me get the woman from Texas City.
Who's fluid? It's so funny because I remember, like, I started watching the Golden Girls when my I'm not gonna get emotional talking about this. My best friend, she passed already. She passed years ago. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna just go from there. But that was like her, and also her grandmother also transitioned as well. And that was their thing. And I remember, like, when we first met, I was like, what is this show? Like, why am I watching this? I didn't get it. And then but then I do remember being in elementary school, watching this show with her and her grandmother, and like, laughing just because, whatever. And now that I'm a woman that's, cute for her age, I'm gonna, show my shoulders. I'm not gonna how old I am.
You kind of did, like, plenty of times.
I kind of did, right?
Yeah.
But I do remember, like, understanding the importance of being a woman, being a female in general, having, like, good girlfriends, and, like, those being, like, your best friends. Obviously, you're gonna have your partners, which is fine. But I do know that the importance of having really good girlfriends and really just having those relationships. And that's kind of a side note from the conversation we're going to have tonight. But I do want to say to, like, females in general, like, if you have really great girlfriends, it's not going to be perfect. But I do want you guys to, like, even if, like, you agree to disagree, but just be able to, like, text your girlfriend and say, we don't agree, but I love you and I appreciate you, and things of that nature. Because I know my friends, they deal with me, and I'm a mess some days. But I do know that I have some amazing girlfriends who are probably my longest relationships. Out of nowhere, and I want them to know that. So when they hear this, they can hear this. But again, if you have a good girlfriend that surrounds you, and you're, sometimes you're just in a hot ass mess, which is fine. We all are. We've been all effed up since the pandemic. But I do believe, just text them and let them know that, I love you, I appreciate you. You don't need nothing. It's just like, you know what, I see you and I appreciate you. But in general, if you have a good friend in general, just text them and say, you know what, I see you, I love you, I appreciate you. And then we can go back to the topic now. Here we go.
There you go. And if I could counter you, I would also say, the bros from Entourage. I like their friendship as well. I always felt like, when I was a little younger, I always felt like me and my friends were something like their characters at the time. Without me knowing about what the show was about until I got a little older, then I understood it. But yeah, I also would say the friendship for the bros of Entourage as well. Add that to the list for me. So yeah, there you go.
So pretty much, if you got your bromances, you got your bros that's important to you, just text them like, yo, I know I don't know, it's weird when it comes to guys. But again, if you have I feel like in general, if you have someone that's important to you, just text them, but you know what? I love you. They're going to be like, yo, where's it coming from? But again, just let them know that I love you. I appreciate you. And that's a tag note. And here we go back to the conversation again.
Shouts to the bros to the Promoter Podcast. Yeah, there you go. So I got another question.
They aight.
So I got another question today. So this is the random that I just saw online. So if say you dating and they unfollow you on social media, does that count as a breakup?
So my younger self would be like, yes. But even right now, I'd be like, hello. I just, again, I think it kind of goes back to our previous conversation where I was like, when I was engaged, it was public and it was like, whatever. If you unfollow me, I mean, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah.
If you do unfollow me, I'll be like, hello, sir. And I'll know about it, like, hello, sir. If we have a conversation, that's different. But if we don't, then I'm going to look at you different.
Yeah, I go agree with you. I feel like that would be kind of weird. Like, if you follow them on social media, I feel that's kind of weird. I know people say, oh, don't think it's so serious on social media. But sometimes you're going to have to, because it's weird. It's going to feel like in our eyes that you don't follow me, you'll feel like you're moving funny. You feel like you want to do something behind the scenes. That would make it's giving me
that part.
It giving me sneaky vibes, in my opinion. It giving me sneaky vibes. So yeah, I mean, if you follow me, I wouldn't consider it as a breakup, but I will be questioning the
I think it's one thing if we both agree to unfollow each other.
Yeah, exactly,
which is one thing. Exactly. But for you to unfollow me and then start if you just start deleting stuff about us, I think where we're going is we're referring to the twin. I forget her name. Bailey, Hallie. It's like two of them.
Yeah, Hallie. Got it. Funny.
Hallie,
that's the person I talk about. That's the person I talk about.
So, is it DDNG? Is this?
I guess. I don't know. God.
Okay, but I think it's one thing. Like, if we break up, just okay, fine. It's one thing. But if I still have you on my stuff, and then whatever the case may be, it's kind of awkward. This is awkward. Very awkward.
Yeah, it is very awkward. And
very awkward.
Like I said, if you do that, especially friendship too. If you don't follow me, out of nowhere, I'm gonna say it's something sneaky, So yeah, you go give me sneaky vibes, basically.
I mean, I think any relationship, if you do, again, like friendships and any relationship, again, like you said, if we do decide to kind of like not be either friends or in a relationship with each other, like let's have that mutual like respect or conversation and so on and so forth. There's no one, from my perspective, I could be wrong and I might get conversations later. I've never ended a relationship with anyone and like, oh, I'm gonna delete you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because I never want any bad will against each other. You know, whatever you do is what you do. I want you to flourish. I want the best for you and yours, and so on and so forth. Now I have had a situation where when it came to you and your people, your family, and I will say this and I'm a stand 10 toes down of it. I don't F with you. And I really don't care, you know, but I'd rather, you know, we can either have that conversation or I'm gonna see your energy when I see you. I did have an indication where I saw that person, I saw their family, and I saw how you interacted with me. I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't. Okay, good. I'll F with you. It's fine. But there's no other like friendship or best friend or whatever case to me. I'm like, yeah, I can't. No, I don't want to be around you. Like, again, if you're winning, I'm all for you winning. But there's one group in particular, not group, but one person and their persons in particular. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that.
I know for me,
I'm like, can I ask you a question? Like, what about you?
I know, and all for me, for me to do that, you got to start really messed up for me to do that. You know, like you really have to do. I won't do that. No, I don't even like cut people off. I think that's part of my issue. But I feel like, in order for me to get to that point, you had to really do something really messed up for me to do that. Maybe see.
But do you feel like some days, like I know I'm very guilty of being an introvert, like even to my best friends, like even to the people that are close to me, like even like they know I'm an introvert out. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with nobody. I'm just like, I'm definitely an introvert, but I'm also an extrovert because of my job and like certain things. It's kind of weird about me. And I do recognize the fact that my relationships, because I become an introvert, it messes up my relationships. And I'm trying to work on it, but I'm still kind of awkward because I don't know how to express the fact. And I feel like this conversation is like, we're going side note, but I feel like it's needed. I do feel like, and hopefully if they hear this, they receive it. If not, it's okay. I do feel like because I'm such an introvert and I'm emotional. I'm a Libra, but I'm also very emotional. And when I say that, I say that to say that when I get upset some days, I start to cry. I'm crying because I'm like, I'm trying to go to jail or whatever, but also, 9 times out of 10, I'm saying that because I don't know how to express myself, but I love the people that I have around me. There are people that I do miss around me that I did have in the past, but I don't know how to be overly clingy, like, or whatever. Even with my partner now, like, I'm like, these days I'm like, I just want you to be in the bed with me all the time and just all that. But it's like, even as a friend, I can honestly say that there are days I haven't been a good friend. I just been like an asshole friend. I can say that respectfully, you know. But you know, I'm trying to kind of balance everything out. But as a it's not even me being a Libra, but it's just like I'm either I want to be in the corner in my bed and just kind of chilling myself, or I might want to be outside. But I'm very an introvert but an extrovert. Like, it's kind of weird. And it kind of comes over even excuse me, y'all. Even in my relationships, it kind of comes out though. It's weird. and
I can relate. I believe it or not, I am introvert too. Believe it or not, I am an introvert too. But this show helped me to be not that. so yes, I kind of get it. I wasn't big on opening up myself. I mean, it took me a long time to actually open up to people, and stuff like that. I learned to do that now, and so I could definitely relate. I feel like I haven't been a good friend either. That all comes to work on. But yeah, it's like I said, there's always a work in progress every day. So there you go.
And that's our transparency for the day, and I think we've been okay. And so now we're gonna go into not the fun stuff, but the
well, before we get to that, so as this is Valentine's Day week, Valentine's Day show and stuff like that. So my question to you is, how do you feel about Valentine's Day? What is your favorite Valentine's Day memory? And I got a question about Valentine's Day: do you feel Valentine's Day is a woman holiday?
I go one and one and one. What is, and this is a conversation I've had with not just my partner now, but in general. I feel like it's a day that is overpriced, overworked. If you decide to send me something to my job, okay, that's cute, but I just feel like, and I feel like I'm gonna get, it's cap, she capping, but it's like, no, like I don't want that day to let me know how you feel about me. If you treat me like a queen, or 365 or whatever the case may be, before that day, that I don't need that. Like I'm not. It's like self-validation. Like thank you. I mean, if you want to send me something, I mean, hey babe, if you send me some blue Tiffany roses, that's fine. Again, and it's so funny because we were talking. What's today? We were talking, I think, yesterday. Yesterday. And I was like, because he's a culinary artist. If you get it, you get it then. And I just assumed because of his restaurant, he was going to be working. I was like, all right, well, working is fine. I don't care. But, and then also will be a year in next month, which is March, but we're going away either Wednesday here or there. But he was like, I'm on Valentine's Day out, and he was like, you want to come over? I was like, okay, I'll come over. I was like, well, damn, am I a female? But I don't care about that. I don't want gifts. I don't want all that. Again, you get flowers, but I don't. It's overpriced, and if you have to validate to me. If you have to validate your person and your partner on that one day, that's an issue for me.
Yeah.
Period.
There you go. Do you have a Valentine's Day memory?
I really don't. Again, I don't like Valentine's Day. I'm not like if you send me something to my job, it's like, okay, thank you, babe, but I'm really not big on that. If you know me, it's like, I don't want validation on that one day. If you send me something, thank you, but that doesn't base how I feel about you.
There you go. For me, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, what about you? Like, what about you? Like, how much have you showed out?
Back in the day, I love Valentine's Day, as you know, I'm a hopeful romantic. So I used to love Valentine's Day. But for some reason, Valentine's Day is always my bad luck day. So to agree with you, it's just a regular day. It's a regular day for me.
Honestly, not to cut you off, but you know what's funny? Like, because if you know what I do for a living, you know what I do for a living. But we honestly, like, we have like stuff we can do, like hearts on each other. But we send like funny gifts to each other. Again, this is the first year that I assumed he was going to be working. And he was like, no, I'm not working that day. And I was like, damn. I was like, oh, okay. Well, because my whole process was, all right.